Well, it's another Monday evening here in Houston, Texas at KPFT. Hi, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Effin Rager. As always, I am Connor Clifton, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Ned Gale. Hi,
hey,
Ned.
How's it going?
Good, buddy.
Monday evening. Holy moly, our energy's at its highest.
Yes, it really is.
This is me at the peak.
So, Ned, let's just jump right into it. How was your freaking weekend?
Ooh, my freaking weekend. Well, Friday night, what did we do? We just hung around.
Yeah, I think we just hung out.
Friday night was the chiller. That was where we stored our energy so it could be ready for the ultimate parties, which for me came Saturday afternoon. Swimwear department played at Cactus Records. First time ever getting to play in there.
Congratulations.
Holy moly, so much fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What was so fun about it?
Well, you're doing it in a record store, so that's already pretty wacky. And for those who haven't seen Swimwear Department before, it's very interactive. There's a lot of limbo challenges, a lot of cool strutting you have to do to show off how you're the best swimmer. So it was fun to do that between the aisles of the record store, but also, unlike most shows, there were a lot of kids there. So it was really fun to see how that played with kids, and it played well.
I showed up at the tail end of that. I didn't get to see the show, but I did get to see one of those kids at the show bite his mom on the butt. And I laughed way too hard, and she got mad at me for encouraging him. But it was super funny. Okay, so that was your Saturday.
That was my Saturday. Then Sunday, our good friend Alec came into town from Louisiana, and we just partied the day away.
My Polski Prince.
Yeah.
I love that guy. Yeah, we had a really good time with him.
It was wonderful, and then I did the stacks later that evening, which was pretty fun. It was good. We had a lot of strangers come in looking for a different show.
Did they stick around at least?
They did stick around for the show. We had one couple, I think they left halfway through the show, come in, and then another group came in halfway through the show, and they really loved it. They said they're going to come back in 2 weeks. So yeah, it was all together. It was pretty fun. It reminded me of when we used to do the show in Heights Vinyl, and people would just wander in and be like, what's going on here? Yeah. So it was cool. How was your freaking weekend? I know we spent most of it together.
Yeah, most of it we spent together. Saturday, however, I drove to Louisiana and got myself a new car.
New whip?
Yep. So I've got my old 2002 Toyota Camry.
Well, rip the old whip and welcome the new wheels.
Yeah. No, it's great. It has air conditioning.
That's awesome.
A step up. You know, you've ridden in it. It's a nice ride.
It's true. It's got a sunroof and a moonroof.
Yeah. Got the best of both worlds. Man, I tell you, I'm a big fan of the Toyota Camry. This is my second one. And we're not trying to be the car talk here, but I do want to talk about this car.
But if you do want to talk about only Toyota Camrys, you can call in at 713-526-8737 and tell us about your favorite part of the car.
Well, my favorite part of the car is it's very, very comfortable to be in. It looks really nice from the outside. I got to tell you, it was beautifully designed. One of the most best designed cars I've ever seen. And speaking of design, I'd like to welcome our guest for today. Please give it up for Mr. Josh Higgins.
Yeah! Hey! What's up, Josh? How's it feel to be on the radio?
Yeah, it feels amazing.
Well, Josh, like I said, speaking of design, you're a designer.
Yeah, and in design school, we study heavily the Toyota Camry.
That is your textbook. They give you a Toyota Camry.
This is the pinnacle of design. If one time in your career you can design a masterpiece such as the Toyota Camry, you're doing good.
Oh man, did you get one?
No, I got a Ford Focus.
Oh, also a good car.
Great for school, trying to focus all the time.
So, all right, you went to design school. Where'd you go?
I went to Texas State University in San Marcos.
Okay. Nice.
Did it have a really solid design program?
Yeah, it's really solid. I went to U of H for a year, and then I met somebody going through their design program, and he was having an anxiety attack about actually making it into the program, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna get out of here."
Yeah, not a fan of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I'm a cartoonist, and it took me a long time to figure out what's the difference between a cartoonist and an illustrator. So what's the difference between an illustrator and a designer?
Usually with a designer, there's some sort of like visual challenge you're trying to solve. So there's usually kind of like a problem and then a solution you're trying to come up with Whereas in Illustrator, you usually kind of give them a prescribed thing of like, we want this thing, and then they're just kind of executing that. Whereas design's a lot more thinking about like solving a problem.
Could you give me any example? Do I need to tell you some of my problems so you can make a design to solve them?
Yeah. Give me a problem, and I'll see if I can come up with a good design.
All right. People at work say I'm too mean.
Too mean. You could make a pamphlet, a 3-panel pamphlet about why you're not a mean guy. You could also make a sign for yourself. Put it in your cubicle.
Ooh, I like that.
To remind you to be a nice guy and give you some practical steps.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. If I can make a zine, I really want everyone to like me at work, and I can't afford to be the donut guy, but I can definitely afford to print out some zines on why I'm cool.
There you go. Yeah.
But
all right.
Oh, great. So that guy gives us handbills every day.
Yeah, don't hype it up like you're about to give them donuts.
You bring a Shipley's box and open it. It's like, it's zines.
Zines. Hot off the press.
Well, sort of hot. I had to cut them and then staple them. I'm not going to pay for that.
And I used the company printer to do it, please.
Also, I only used one staple, so don't try to open them too fast. It's a cost-saving thing. Yeah, it's DIY. You get it.
DIY.
Nah, I just I do the paper fold and cut in the middle of it.
Oh, there you
just
go.
turn it into a mini booklet.
Yeah.
Just save money on staples,
Yes.
but not scissors. You need at least those.
You need, yeah.
Do you have a problem Josh could solve?
Yeah, my neck's been hurting. I don't know if it's a mattress thing or just general stress. I might be dying. I took a ribbon off my neck the other week. I hope that doesn't make my head fall off.
Mm-hmm. You could make a flyer.
Okay.
For the next swimwear department show. I've
This
heard
is good.
that helps reduce stress and pain.
Ooh.
It gets good exercise to
I
go
hope
to
I'm
one of
not
those
bobbing
shows.
my head to those catchy tunes.
All right, great. So now we know what a designer
That's
is.
what a designer
Yeah.
does.
You're a problem solver.
A problem solver.
I
Now,
love it.
I also know that you've done some web work, so you're not just designing on the paper.
What, like Spider-Man?
No, you're what's it? UX?
UX designer now, yeah.
Okay, what would that be?
That would be like kind of app design, but UX is kind of a really broad, all-encompassing term of just anytime a user of a product encounters, or anytime somebody uses a product, they're having an experience using that product. So your job is to kind of streamline that experience and make it effective for the business and painless for the user.
Yeah, least amount of problems possible. That way they don't have to call the designer to fix everything.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, now you also have your own side business, I'll call it.
Yeah, let's take work off the table.
Take
It's
work
Monday
off.
night. We're done with work for
Yeah.
today.
All right, your design brand is called HMD Things?
Stuff and Things.
Stuff and Things.
Things
Dang
with
it.
an A.
Stuff and things. Yeah, I love
Things.
that.
All right, HMD Stuff and Things.
What does HMD stand for?
We couldn't figure it out.
Houston Medical Doctor?
Nothing really.
What?
The whole name is to make fun of like, it was just kind of on the fly to make fun of like hipster brand names. So there's like all those hipster brand names where they like take out all the vowels of the word. So it was. I think it's been so long. I think
Is it humid?
I might have based it on handmade, but a lot of the stuff's not handmade anymore. And then Stuff and Things was making fun of like wire and twine or like thistle and wheat.
Yeah.
All those hipster.
Ugh.
So
Guys, if you run one of those hipster companies and you don't like that Josh is talking guff about you, you can call us in at 713-526-8737 and defend yourself. Not using swear words, please, guys.
Yeah.
or if you have a good hipster name.
Or yeah,
like
if you have
propose.
something like that.
If you want to pitch one, or if you're having trouble coming up with one, I'm sure Josh could design one for you.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Or just one person call in with one word and another person call in with the second word, and we'll put them together and make a business.
You know what? We could definitely get people calling if we just offer Josh's services for free.
That's true.
Just call in and, anything you need.
As soon as we get this designer to fix our phone problem, Josh, we do not know how to use the phones. We screw this up every time.
Yeah, if you could make this better for us.
If you're watching on Facebook, you can do it there too. We are okay at that.
Yeah.
I can see some designer has made some great signs on the switchboard.
This is
there.
true.
Yeah, we just can't see when the phones are going off. If we could move this somehow.
Yeah. Oh,
It seems like they're going out. If we had a tube that was just like could reflect light, we could put it directly on her eyes. So anytime I see flashing lights and I recover from my epileptic seizure, I know that someone's calling in.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, we're really bad at the phone. So what are some of the things?
Yeah, we talk about HMD things. So what do you do with that? Do you just make hipster stuff?
It's HMD stuff and things.
Stuff and
things.
Yeah.
I was crushing it down. Like a hipster might.
Yeah, you can just shorten it to HMD. That's what we call it on the streets.
Cool.
And which streets are these?
These are the Heights Boulevard and 11th.
Ah, yes. Heights at 11th. Tough BBs over there.
There was a whole gang of people in white linen hanging out there over the weekend.
Yeah, White Linen Night was this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I got out of there.
Talk about a white linen fright night.
Yeah.
I'm terrified of it. This is too much.
So do you live over there?
Yeah, I live up there.
What is it like to live there during that?
My neighbors advised me to get out of there, so that's what I did.
Get out.
But when I came back, there was like just free koozies from Topgolf that somebody had handed out were like lining my street and just flyers and
chaos.
It was chaos. I mean, it wasn't like tons of trash. It was like, but for the Heights, 5 pieces of trash. Was like,
why is it White Linen Night? Do you know where that comes from?
I think it came from like the Louisiana. I think when
Like you wear your white linens for a special night or something.
Yeah.
It sounds like something against big red wine. They're trying to stop them for a night.
I think it was like it's hot in the South, and white and linen are like the most comfortable things to wear, I guess.
Okay, so this is the out night.
So this is the going out, you wear your white linen.
Yeah, it protects you from the moon's harmful rays.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why you have a moonroof.
Yeah, if I lived there, I would set up, like, you know how embassies have rubber bullet cannons in case you try to climb them? I'd do that, but with like barbecue sauce. So if anyone tried to break into your house or was drunk and stumbling, like, you just destroy their clothes.
Pouring hot coffee onto them so they're in pain and their clothes are ruined.
We did have. I used to work in a studio in the Heights called Burning Bones Press, and we would do on White Linen Night, Black Ink Night. Where we'd be doing like live screen printing demos with like ink everywhere, and people are kind of like people come and like look at the stuff because they, it's cool stuff to look at, but they'd also be like, don't get black ink on my white linen.
So some of the things that I've seen come out of HMD are very Houston inspired. You have a Marvin Zendler piece that I'm a really big fan of.
Yeah, I've got that button on one of my jackets.
Yeah, and you also have the what is it? The blue and white.
Oh, the tiles. The Houston.
The
tiles.
blue tiles.
Yeah. So what is it about Houston that makes you just want to bring so much of it into your?
Yeah. What's your freaking obsession with your city?
Yeah.
I mean, the honest answer, I think, is probably just because it sells well. But my first art show was my first solo art show I ever did was all Houston inspired work, and it's mostly just because that's what I know, and I like. I think my cheesy artist bio line is like, I like connecting people through shared culture and like pop culture. But it's kind of what it is that I like, finding these bits of pop culture and like bringing them back and things that I remember from growing up or things that I don't remember that I've gone and researched, and I find something that like, this is really cool.
Yeah, the thing is there's like almost no shortage of stuff to pull from. Like you have a very large line of work from HMD stuff and things, and it's all Houston centric, but it's all like different Houston stuff. It goes to show how culturally rich the city is.
Yeah, H-Town is the best. We did it. Now, I imagine going to design school. Look, I'm just going to call him like I see him. Josh, you seem like a pretty cool dude. I think that you are a cool guy.
We think you're cool.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
So I just imagine in college, design school, cool guy walking around, you got invited to a lot of cool parties.
Yeah, kind of. Not because of my coolness, mostly just being in groups and like joining a group and like, oh, hey, we're going to have a party.
I don't know if you knew this, but being part of a cool group is pretty cool.
Or if you're the cool guy in the group.
Ooh.
It was mostly just being in part of like a lame niche group.
What was it? Was it anime club?
What do you play, surf rock?
It was club gymnastics.
Yeah.
With club Wait, how is this different from gymnastics club?
This one's a giant club they hit the gymnasts with.
Yeah, it's like gymnastics club. So it's like it's self-organized. Like we organize it ourselves, and then we compete against other schools that are self-organized. So it's not like NCAA regulated or anything like that.
Yeah.
So you're a gymnast?
I'm a gymnast, or I was.
You were? What happened?
About 60 pounds happened.
Oh, I thought maybe you took a dive and could never recover or something.
I broke my neck doing the triple Lindy.
What's a triple Lindy?
Triple Lindy?
It's like a double Lindy, but just a
Yeah.
couple more Lins, baby.
I don't know what that is. Is that a cartwheel? How close is that?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so what kind of
Here,
college?
can you just do one real quick?
Do it. This is on the radio, right?
Yeah.
Do it. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Whoa! Now I know why they call it that.
Yeah.
All right, so get back to the party.
Please don't get your sweat on the mic.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, basically club, like any club sport in college, like there's all different kinds, like basketball, soccer, everything. Basically, club sports are just excuses for people who couldn't make the NCAA team, or just people who just want to get together and kind of do a sport,
Yeah.
and then also drink a lot.
Hey, I think that's pretty healthy.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, you go to all these competitions at different schools, and it's not so much a competition. It's like, all right, let's get through this competition.
Yeah, it's
thing,
like, what's your campus look like?
so that we can go to the after party.
So you've been to a lot of different parties.
Yeah.
I feel like one of my problems at UTSA is I partied at the same place every week. Got really good at it, but I feel like you're a touring party troupe that is also good at Lindying.
Yeah, it's like going to your friends' houses, except you only see your friends once a year while you're competing against them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So did you have any? Well, I hate to say it on the radio, but effin Ragers on the road.
Oh, there were some ragers.
Tell us about some.
Yeah, spill the beans.
Well, spill the beans.
Not in the house.
So the biggest ragers always happened at nationals, which is where the teams.
No, are these the Rage Nationals or the
Rage Nationals, sponsored by MTV. At nationals, when all the schools from all over the country would come together. So instead of being like 5 schools in each state, it was like something like 300, 400, 500, 600 college students showing up in one city, pretty much staying in the hotel, and then over like 5 days you compete and party and hang out. My school hosted one in the brand new school or the brand new town convention center, because San Marcos is a small town. They didn't really have like a big heavy convention center, so they built this new like hotel convention center, and
and now it's called the Frisbee Dan Convention.
the Frisbee Dan
It's the only
Convention Center.
San Marcos reference I know.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we were kind of like the first school activity to use it. And we kept trying to prepare them, being like, you're having 300, 400 college students are coming to your hotel. So we tried to organize like, hey, after the meet, we're going to need to rent a room, like a big room where we can play music and drink. Otherwise, everybody's going to go to their different rooms.
And you're not going to want that.
Yeah, you're not going to want that.
Floors are going to collapse with 200 people in one hotel room.
Yeah, exactly. We tried to prepare them, but they were not prepared. And after the first night, they like kicked us out of the room, and they're like, you're not allowed back. And so everybody just kind of went to their rooms the next night and partied in their own rooms, and they got so many complaints that they're like, okay, you can have the room again. But I think it was like,
should have had a designer there to solve that problem.
Problem. There was like, so then they had the first night when they kicked us out of the room, they had security kind of just going room to room, like telling people to keep it down. And when they would kick people out of one room, they just moved in the next room. And then eventually some of us moved to like in the elevator, and we're just sitting in the elevator holding like the door open, and then when security comes like on that floor, we just like hit the button and move up some
You
floors.
can't catch us if it
I was really hoping for some more like gymnastics involved, or just like they'd come into the elevator and already you're just like hanging
above them.
Yeah.
There's always, after like local meets, there was always kind of at some point in the party, there'd be like a drunken handstand contest.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
What's the parkour crossover in that group?
it's
A lot of people leaping hallway to hallway.
trying to get away from the police.
You guys play ground?
Oh, wait, okay, hang on.
Ground's not made of lava, or is made of lava.
Let's talk about that. Trying to get away from the police.
I don't have police stories.
You don't? Dang
Have
it.
you seen someone parkour away from a police officer? That's all I want to know.
I've seen somebody in my college duplex tried to parkour over a cactus.
Oh no!
And the cactus was a cop?
I think they were also carrying somebody, and it just did not end well for anyone involved.
Jeez.
I hate that story. I love cactus cops. Let's talk off air.
All right, so gymnastics.
Have some more spine, man. I've got 400 spines.
Geez, you really know a lot about cacti.
That's what those spikes are called. All right, let's keep moving.
Wait, they're called spines?
I thought they were. I could be wrong.
I always called them pricklies.
If you know what they're called, please call in at 713-526-8737.
All right, buddy, that's our job.
He's solving our problems right here. We're not plugging the number enough.
I think we plug it a lot. I just post. Hey, if you're on Facebook, just like call in.
Yeah, don't be afraid to call in. The number is there on the Facebook video. It's 713-526-8737. I'm watching my lag on the video. It's freaking me out.
You know, I'm just gonna keep an eye on this and see if I can't multitask and see if the light will come on. All right, Josh, gymnastics. What a crazy thing to be involved in. I love it.
Now I've seen you associate with some people that are pretty nimble themselves in the Lone Star Wrestling. Doomsday. What am I saying? Lone Star Wrestling Federation. Completely different thing.
I mean, Tex Lone Star runs it.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
The most charming man in Houston,
He
I
is.
would have to
He
say.
really is. He's a very sweet guy.
He's a Texas icon.
Now I've seen you hang out with a few people in that Doomsday Wrestling. Marvin Gardens, one of the referees there.
Yeah.
And then I've seen a picture or two.
Yeah.
Are you hanging out with the Lunchador?
I mean, we were known to grab, fourth meal, fifth meal every now and again.
Fifth meal?
Sometimes we got to go to fifth meal.
Can you talk to me about the Lunchador? Because that character is perplexing to me.
Yeah, basically he's just a guy who wants to eat, and anytime somebody prevents him from eating, he's got to take matters into his own hands.
He seems docile in the ring until his snacks are taken away.
Exactly. That's usually and it's a double-edged sword because you take your stacks away. He needs to eat about every 5 to 10 minutes, or else blood sugar crashes and he loses all energy.
Does he go into a berserk style rage, or what is it without snacks?
Without snacks, he mostly just passes out. He starts with a rage.
Yeah, give me
my
so
snacks.
2 minutes after snacks. Where's he at?
He's very angry. He's energized. He's desperately searching for those snacks.
5 minutes after.
5 minutes after those snacks, he is borderline on the verge of death.
10 minutes after snacks.
10 minutes after snacks, he's never gone that long. He could be dead.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Whoa. We gotta test this one out.
Yeah.
I'm not taking snacks away from Lunchador. You can if you want.
Nah, no thanks. It sounds pretty terrifying.
I'm terrified to get in the ring.
Now, we're talking about these wrestlers, but who are these people? What do they hang out with? Oh, that's right, Doomsday Wrestling. Josh, can you tell us a little bit about what Doomsday Wrestling is?
So yeah, it's a comedy wrestling group. Basically, it's like your WWE, WWF, but intentionally funny.
But in these things, the W stand for wacky and wild.
So yeah, I think it's been going on for I want to say almost 15 years now.
Dang.
Started by the titular Tex Lone Star back in whatever. I can't do math. I'm an art major. And yeah, we just do, I think we're up to 35, 40-ish shows that we've done, usually about 4 times a year at different venues around town.
And these shows are huge. This isn't just backyard wrestling.
No, yeah, it's
the shows I've seen are insanity. There's ghosts. There's people returning from the dead. There's people killing themselves to go into the dead world to fight. And there's crazy props, crazy characters. Who are some of the other wrestlers on that?
There's Milk and Cookies, which are a children's host tag team. They use things like weaponized balloons, a giant teddy bear to smother you. I believe one of their finishing maneuvers is busting out an RC car and driving it repeatedly into your head. There's Tex's daughter, Charlene Lone Star. Who else? We got Death Row Flo, who's an inmate from Sam Houston Penitentiary that we get on a work release program every show.
That's just fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good tax break for
I've seen the haunted
company.
doll. I've shielded my eyes from the haunted doll.
She is very terrifying. Who else do we have? The Top Banana.
Don't talk about that. That guy.
Up until recently, he was the champ. Up until recently,
He got dethroned.
He got dethroned by that Lunchador we were talking about.
The Lunchador dethroned Top Banana.
Yeah. What happened is the Lunchador's manager Monty Del Monte pretended to have a heart attack, as one does. Came back as a fitness instructor, offered to train the Lunchador, abandoned him at a 24-hour Chinese buffet.
Thought you were going to say fitness.
Replaced him with a fitter, healthier Lunchador that then intentionally lost to Top Banana. And then after, original Lunchador had just closed that buffet, they were forced to go out of business within hours. He came back, saw what was going down, and set things right.
Good.
All right, man.
Mercy Lord. I need to catch the next one of these. Is there one coming up or anything?
I believe we're having one in September. I'm not 100% sure on the day, but I believe it's late September.
Okay, well, as long as it's not September 11th, I do have plans. It's the next Effin Rager. Don't freak out, guys.
That's true. So what got you into Doomsday Wrestling? What made you want to do that?
I saw one of their shows and I was like, I have to be involved in this. I have to do this. It was the most insane thing I had seen, and I was like, I just have to do it. And so I emailed Tex and was like, anything you need me to do, I will do.
So 10 years of cleaning up vomit.
10 years of cleaning up vomit later. Yeah, worked my way to the top.
So what was the audition process like?
Usually you just meet Tex and you do maybe you do a couple bumps on the mat. A bump is a fall. Mm-hmm. You do a couple of falls on the mat, and if he likes how you fell and likes your personality, then he'll try to find a spot for you in the show.
Is there a trick to falling?
Yeah, you want to fall. You want to spread as much of your mass and energy on the mat as you can. Mm-hmm. So you want your back. You want to land flat on your back. You want to have your arms out flat to your sides, and you want to have your feet flat on the mat, and you want all those things to hit kind of simultaneously.
The same time. Yeah.
It does two things. It spreads out like the energy, so you're not taking that fall in one part of your body and hurting that part. And it also makes like a big loud sound when you spread it all out like that.
Nice. I've also heard to look at your belt buckle so you don't bump the back of your head.
You want to tuck that chin in, otherwise
you'll... I learned that, and it's great because I always have cool belt buckles, you guys. If you want to ask me about my belt buckle, feel free to call in at 713-526-8737. I will not describe it to
you. So you mentioned two characters that you're affiliated with. Mm-hmm. What is the process like for coming up with a character for your wrestling show? Sometimes
Tex will come up with them. Sometimes the people will propose them. Sometimes you have to come up with a couple before he likes one.
Do you have any rejected characters that you're willing to share?
I don't want to name them because they could be approved at some point.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you describe any of them?
Most of them are characters with similar puns to Lunchador.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so here's what I got. My character would be called the Wet Noodle.
The Wet Noodle.
Now, for those listening on that don't see the video, you may think I'm extremely ripped based on my manly voice, but I'm actually a very skinny guy. So I imagine I'd get real wet, then just go in swinging.
I like
That's
that.
my wrestler, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then I have pasta.
I'd be one of the pounding fathers.
Okay, here we go.
I'm just a really patriotic dude who beats up people.
Yeah.
Slams the Constitution in their face.
I mean, that's a superhero we could use right now.
Yeah. I have the Bill of Rights and the Bill of Your Wrongs.
Whoa.
I just bust people up, come out in spandex, and then on the side, I'm like, really into getting the kids to learn and pray to Christ.
I like you using the sword and the scale.
Putting the deck back in declaration.
Yeah.
See, you guys are better at this tonight.
Wow.
Declaration of Independence.
Were you really into wrestling growing up?
I mean, I think everybody kind of was, and then
I wasn't into wrestling. It's been a weird thing because I feel like a lot of people in the comedy scene are into wrestling because of the crazy stories and the overtop performances. Yeah. But that's been so, like, for Connor and I, we were just like, man, I wish I knew more about wrestling.
I made an active decision not to get involved in it. Mm-hmm. It was just like wrestling and monster trucks were two things I was like, yeah, I'm good.
I wish I got into
wanna go
monster
there.
trucks too. I would love to go to a. Can we go to a monster truck
We
thing?
can go to Monster
We could do an
Jam.
Effin Rager
there
like
people
man
that-
on the street thing.
Are there people that are like into monster like?
Yes.
But like into it like in the way that like people are into wrestling where they're like tracking points and like
I guess it doesn't happen as often.
I mean-
is there a Monday night?
Well,
monster.
hang on. There's Monster Jam, and I don't know if they have stories involved in them, but our friend Jason was talking to us about the ship of Theseus, where if every part of the ship is replaced, is it really the ship?
Yeah.
And he talked about that with Gravedigger.
Oh yeah.
It's like every part of Gravedigger's been replaced. Is it the real
Is
Gravedigger?
it truly Gravedigger?
I'm like, it's kind of like Santa. Like,
Yeah.
They just have a bunch of Gravediggers and they drive.
You said it's kind of like Santa.
Yeah, like
What do you mean? They're
like it's a
replacing pieces
mall.
of Santa?
Yeah, like it's a mall. It's like,
Oh.
there's not one Gravedigger. It's like there's not one Santa Claus. There's Gravedigger and then Gravedigger's helpers. And those are the ones that you see at Monster
They're
Jam.
building trucks all year round.
Jack and I really wanted to go to Monster Jam. It looks like if you can just get drunk and eat nachos
Yeah.
all day and you're just watching trucks explode, yeah, I could get into
That's what's like I can get into it. I just don't see people going on like monster truck forums and being like, no, Bigfoot would take him any day.
I don't know. Maybe that discussion, guys, if you're passionate about monster trucks,
trucks.
please call in at 713-526-8737 or call me on my personal number. I would really like to talk about
Yeah,
this.
if you know any monster truck forums, post them in the live chat.
Yeah.
My nephew's really into monster trucks, and so I feel like I should know a little bit of something about it so I can talk to him.
Yeah.
I only know Gravedigger, but he knows all the.
He just said Bigfoot. Is that a real truck?
Yeah, Bigfoot.
They're on
Oh, I thought
wheels.
that
What
was
an
a wrestler.
idiot. Yeah.
No, it's like a blue truck with like big biceps coming down the side.
Wait a second.
Like actual arms, right? I think I know what you're talking about. Like the hands are like holding the wheels.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
This might be a wacky racer I'm thinking of now.
yeah, Dick Dastardly.
Yeah.
My absolute favorite. Jeez. Okay, so now we need. Do you want to go to Monster Jam with us?
Yeah, I'm down to go. to
Yeah, we
Monster
should
Jam.
Oh,
definitely.
What's the other thing that happened? Demolition rallies. Where the
Demolition
cars are
rallies,
running-
yeah.
That's way more appealing to me. That
Yeah.
sounds cool.
I want to see that or battle bots.
Is
Autobots.
Demolition? Are those like the UFC of
Cars?
fighting? Like, is it like wrestling?
That's Twisted Metal.
And then that's just well, I mean, like UFC is like we're seriously fighting and we're using like real fighting techniques and we're like seriously kicking each other's butts.
Yeah.
That seems like monster trucks to demolition rallies is like wrestling to.
I think
Are you
Demolition
saying,
Rallies-
are you saying wrestling's fake, bro?
No, I'm saying it has less or it has more performance, and I feel like monster trucks is the same way. Is demolition rally? I just don't want to seem
Actually,
pretentious when I'm watching
You know
cars
what?
hit each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
The more we say it, the more I am coming to realize it's called demolition derbies.
Demolition.
Oh
Derby.
yeah, that makes more
The
sense.
rallies are what happens to get everyone pepped up for the derby.
I thought Demolition Derby was the Stan Lee character.
So I would like to see a demolition derby. I'd like to see battle bots.
BattleBots?
If there's ever a battle bots thing in Houston. Or did you ever see the
or
giant?
Man versus Bot, which we are 10 years from.
Did you ever see the giant mecha fight?
I saw somebody do a Neo bit. Was it you guys? That
Yeah,
did
I was
Neo
gonna
bit?
say, yeah.
We did.
We're very passionate about that giant robot fight.
We watched every minute of it.
the latest ending.
And then a couple of days later, like while we were watching, it was like this scene feels scripted. It feels like this scene is scripted. And then we found out the whole thing was shot over 2 weeks, totally scripted,
Yeah.
totally planned. It was such a letdown, but it was really, really cool seeing these giant robots just take each other.
There's a part where the announcers are like, we should do something, and then they run and the monsters go through their announcing thing. And they're like taking their headset mics like, oh
Yeah, it was pretty great.
it's pretty fun. It's well worth the hour.
It builds up to this just like it's 15 minutes of everyone talking about the science and the challenge and what it took to get this to happen and the nationalistic pride on both. It's America versus Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And America has this huge robot that's like a world champion kind of thing, and Japan has this like. It looks very anime-esque.
Yeah.
Like it's a very sleek thing. So it's 20 minutes of build up, and then the fight starts, and the Japanese robot just moves forward and punches the guy, the American robot,
And
falls
it just
over.
falls over.
The match is over in 8 seconds.
It's amazing.
I like that that's scripted and that's the best ending they could come up with.
There is we're selling it short. There's 2 battles, and the second battle's way longer and crazy. The Japanese mech shoots out a drone at one point, and the American team's like, "What the heck?" Like the drone just starts flying around, and the guys controlling the mech are like, "I can't swat it." We didn't.
And so the American team they built a new robot that has an American eagle on it for some reason, red, white, and blue, star spangled, and it's got a Gatling gun. The eagle is a Gatling gun, so it's just firing nonstop. And the Japanese robot picks up this giant bar with its arm and spins it, and so it's deflecting all the bullets.
It was so sick.
Yeah. Anyway, can you do that?
Yeah.
Is that a wrestling move?
Yeah.
How many Lindy's is that?
We did have I don't think it was a rope, or we've had robots in shows before. We had a robot. We bought a robot to optimize the experience of wrestling, and it soon became sentient and started replacing wrestlers with robot drones.
Crud.
I believe it determined the optimal number for counting to please the crowd, and it was something like 342 or something like that. So yeah, we've done some robot stuff.
All right, so Ned and I have a bunch of cardboard. Mm-hmm. We've been looking to build a mech. Mm-hmm. Can you help us design one?
Yeah, definitely.
Right. What's your vision of a mech? Like, what do you want in it? What do you want out of it?
Ooh, in my dream mech.
And a mech is a giant robot suit.
Get out of my dreams and into my mech. Get out of my dreams and form the head.
That's what my favorite mechs are. The ones that are several mechs that combine a greater mega mech.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like
Voltron.
Voltron.
Mechazord.
Power Rangers,
Yeah.
Mechazord. I did like that Eagle Gatling gun you mentioned. The idea of that is very pleasing to me as a patriot and somebody who enjoys animated eagles. So I think that's got to be one component of it.
Could you actually design? Let me repurpose this question. Could you design in HMD thing style the most Houston mech?
The most Houston mech possible. Yeah. It's
got to run on lean.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. This is going to be a transformer.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like a Cadillac with swinger rims that turn into some sort of poking weapon of some sort.
A poking weapon?
A poke weapon.
Oh, like a baseball bat?
Yeah, like a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a baseball bat, but with rims extending from it.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
It's gonna have turn signals on it, but they're not going to be used at all. Yeah, definitely needs to run on lean. I think it's gonna have to have the chainsaw from Hilton Furniture.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a fat Jack.
Yeah.
And he cuts up all the beds. That guy.
Exactly.
Got to have the Texas hammer, man.
Texas hammer. It's got to have the Texas hammer.
Oh, he should have a hammer for a hand.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Now we're getting somewhere.
Maybe
try suing us, Jim Adler.
I would.
Wait a sec.
Uh-oh. Hey, if you want to sue us, call us in at.
Yeah.
Don't call us. Yeah, we're not here.
Yeah.
We're not awake.
I think after it hits you, it plays the "I just got hit" commercial.
Over and over.
Over and over
It
again.
just like starts over the second they hit again.
Yeah.
Ah, great. And like Katz's, it never closes. All right. Yeah, that is a Houston mech. If
And
ever there
this
was one.
bit is closed. Unlike Katz's.
And then after the fight, it's replaced with a condo.
Whoa.
Too real.
Ah, geez. Hot takes.
I don't want to go any further into the show without mentioning, because we only got 15 minutes left, we got to talk about your project, Intro Flirted.
Intro Flirted.
And how it mixes with our party lifestyle. Can you talk about Intro Flirted a bit?
Sure, yeah, definitely. So, Intro
Like
Flirt...
now?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, well, let's do like 5 minutes of ramping and then... No, it's like it's an online project where I post flirty love notes from an introvert's perspective, or something that like an introvert would like to hear. Mm-hmm. Most of them involve not going outside, avoiding people, texting, things like that.
Okay.
Can we get some of those?
There's one that's we should go out, but not out. And there's a picture of some Chinese takeout on there. referring to the we should go out on a date, but we should not leave the house. It's, Uber eat some food and stay in.
I've seen this stuff featured on Huffington Post. You have a Kickstarter going.
Yeah, we had a Kickstarter going. It wrapped up about a month ago for a book based on the project, and we hit our goal. I believe I'm getting them this week or next week.
Ooh.
And then we're going to have a book launch party Saturday, September 15th at Brazos Bookstore, which I'm super excited about.
That's super exciting.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
That's an exclusive for you guys.
Now, do you think it's crazy to throw?
All right, but you
a
can't
party?
tell anyone else.
I won't tell anybody else. I'll only
you said
promote
exclusive, not a scoop.
a scoop, an exclusive scoop.
Yeah.
Yeah, we only do exclusives here.
This is an internet radio exclusive.
What do you think?
All right, we'll take it.
What do you think the party's going to be like for a book release about introverts? Are you worried about people not coming?
I'm trying to make it very. I'm trying to make it very introvert friendly.
I love it.
My first choice of venue was a cat cafe, but you can't really pile people in a cat cafe.
Right.
The cats will get angry.
I like that there's like a cat for every person to talk to in the corner.
yeah, exactly. And then I'm going to be doing I'm going to be doing a simultaneous online book launch, so that if you don't want to go to the
Are you going to live stream the party?
I think I'm going to live stream the party, and then I'm going to do a separate in my house somewhere, probably my living room or
a
something.
Google Hangout that everyone
Google
can jump
Hangout
in.
that everybody can jump in.
I love that so much.
I was playing with the idea of doing a book tour where it's and Sunday we'll be on Instagram Live, and next Monday we will be on Facebook Live, and this
I will have moved from my living room to my kitchen, and I'll be logging onto Tumblr. Yeah.
I love that tour idea. I go to every show.
The introvert book tour.
So, what brought that about?
I was I kind of just had all these experiences I was running into, and I try to make my work based on stuff that I run into or stuff that just kind of nags at me. Mm-hmm. And every time I try to make work or based on those experiences, it feels very high school emo junk. And so I took this class on how to make a side project, and with Lauren Hom of Hom Sweet Hom. She's a letterer and illustrator. I believe she resides in Detroit now, but she's done work for a lot of big brands, and she really helped me work it in a way that was not so heavy-handed, and by injecting humor into it, it makes it easier for people to connect with, and doesn't feel so I love you.
Can you tell me more about this side project class? I kind of want to take that. That sounds really cool. I'm getting tired of this radio show.
It's called Passion to Paid. I believe the website's passiontopaid.com, and she opens it 1 to 2 times a year, and you can go to that website and sign up to find out when it goes on. But she teaches you all about how to come up with an idea if you don't have an idea, how to promote it and maintain it, and all the things that go from start to finish of a project like that.
That's really cool. Yeah,
and she does it in a way that even though she's a visual artist, it's kind of applicable to any kind of creative endeavor.
Yeah.
So there's people that are doing books in there, some people doing blog stuff, video stuff, audio stuff. It's kind of all over.
I love it.
And what was that website again?
PassionToPaid.com.
PassionToPaid.com. I'm definitely going to have to check that out, because apparently my co-host is a little uppity these days, and I'm going to have to find someone else. Well, I think it's really cool that you have all these projects go. Oh, jeez.
Oh, crud.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Hey, look.
Josh, you got to do a huge favor for us. Okay.
It's the friggin' cops, man.
It's the effing police, FMPD.
Right. We got to get out of here. Please handle the cops for us.
Could you just talk to them for a second?
Yeah.
Is that cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Just, I'm going to be in the cupboard.
All right. See ya.
Yeah. Oh, hey, officer.
Hey, Ned, can you power up that Houston battle bot that we were working on earlier?
No, there's nothing. There's just nothing going on.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're hearing a lot of bells and whistles inside there, and we're just curious what's going on. We've been getting a lot of complaints.
I just got hit.
What the?
I just got hit.com.
What's going on in there? You playing loud music? Here, open up the door real quick. We need to talk to you.
I'm building a condo over here. That's what all those noises
Is it a
are.
condo with hydraulics?
Hammer, and I will fight you.
Is that a TV? What's going on in there?
It's a condo made entirely out of TVs playing Houston commercials.
There's a condo inside your apartment?
It's a micro condo.
Father, I'm running low on fuel. I need more lean.
Is there a child being abused in there? Is there a child that needs fuel in there?
Yeah.
Here, open up that door right now.
Powering down.
Oh my god, it sounds like the child is dying of a lack of power.
So yeah, just come on in. There's nothing going on now.
Good lord.
Hey, what's up? I'm Officer Other One. Sorry, I'm late. I couldn't get my seatbelt off, stuck in the car. Well, there's no crime here, clearly.
Oh, it just looks like a lot of dents in your floor. I hope you get your deposit back.
No, this is Montrose. This is what all the apartments look like.
For the last time, don't respond to all the calls.
I'm
all right?
sorry, yeah.
Jeez,
For
Lord.
now on, we're only responding to every 10th call.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you're the 10th caller at 713-526-8737, we'll talk to you on the radio. I don't know.
We'll come and arrest you. And scene.
Dude, thank you so much for dealing with that guy.
Whoa, what happened to the floor? Where'd all these dents come from?
Ah, crud. And it cleaned my milk stains.
Hey, I can only pay $1,800 in rent. That's what it gets you.
Well, thanks so much again for doing this.
Yeah,
so
thanks for
kind.
having
Yeah,
me.
you saved our butts.
I think one other question I had about wrestling is Ned and I were saying that we're not really too into it. How can we get into it? What are some good intro to
yeah,
wrestling
what's the
things?
gateway?
The gateway is probably going to doomsdaywrestling.com. Doomsdaywrestling.com. And just browsing around there, looking at some characters, seeing
Yeah.
if there's a show coming up. Maybe follow.
See if some inspiration tickles you.
Yeah, something hits you. Maybe follow at doomsdaywrestling.com.
Well, I meant specifically, like, I'm a layman to wrestling. Like, I want to know who the Cenas are. I want to know, is the Macho Man still around? I want to know
He's not.
all the wrestling.
He's tragically
Like,
not.
is it a canon that I can just jump into? Are there alternate plot lines? Are there certain artists run that I should pay attention to? of
Yeah,
wrestling?
I
Is
think
kayfabe a swear word?
it is. I think the biggest one is WWE, but it's kind of more of a family. They're aimed more at kids and families. So some of the matches can
They're
be
wrestling kids and families.
They're wrestling. Well, funny enough, a kid was actually the tag team champion a couple months ago.
That's
and he
awesome.
teamed with a giant man
Oh.
who
did all the work.
Blaster?
Yeah, it's a Braun Strowman.
Naming water
Wait.
slides.
No, those are two. Freak the Mighty. He was the
Oh, freely, yeah, the book.
little kid on the big kid.
Who runs
And then
Bartertown?
There was that's Master Blaster. Yeah. There's also Krang and whatever big thing he's in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a common thing.
Krang and Krang's dad.
So wait, but I do want to ask. So the big guy, what was his name?
Braun Strowman.
And what was the kid's name?
Nicholas.
And was Nicholas just like? Is he always Braun's little partner, or was it? Just,
No, he had to relinquish the titles because he had to go back to school.
Aww.
What a square!
Yeah.
Doesn't he realize wrestling could have made a million?
He could have made
Drop
a
out
million
and have the best belt ever.
Exactly.
Well, I think now is the perfect time for us to get into our segment here. Let me turn this up. That's right, everybody. It's time for I Want a New Plug. Josh, what's going on? Tell us all the stuff you're doing, and I won't sing this song. Go.
You can follow Intro Flirted on Instagram at Intro Flirted and see when that book launch is happening and see all the different posts on there. You can follow at HMD Stuff on Instagram to see all the stuff and things that I design. Maybe buy some at hmdstuff.com, doomsdaywrestling.com, like I mentioned. I think that's all the plugs. if I stop talking, will you sing that song, or do I have to keep talking?
I bet I could come up with some words.
I mean, I could start singing if you want to. Hey, wait. Hey, you have a belt with you. What's going on with that? I've been eyeing that since you got here.
I'm holding it for my buddy, the Lunchador, while he eats a couple snacks down
Are we
the
allowed
street.
to show this on the screen?
Oh,
or
we can
anything?
absolutely.
I feel like we'd be missing a
Alrighty.
extreme opportunity here if we didn't utilize this for video.
I didn't even see this.
You didn't see the giant metal belt in
Well,
his
I see it
bag.
now.
Wow!
Man, that should have just been there in front of you. You should have just walked in wearing it.
This is my talking belt.
I believe it's a child-sized belt, so doesn't
That's a pretty big kid.
This weighs as much as a child.
So, all right, is that what goes to the champion of Doomsday Wrestling?
Yeah, that's
Just the belt?
the champ gets that, and well,
Is it kind of like a teacher letting different kids watch the hamster over the weekend, where you got to take care of it, or is it yours forever?
no, it's yours until you get beat and it gets taken from you.
Now, I have a question here. On the back, we have a few emblems.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the actual wrestling emoji from iPhone?
It might be.
Two very generic people doing what looks to be a very generic hold.
And that's a Sigma Brewing Co. on the
Sigma
back of it
Brewing
as
Co.
well.
sponsor of Doomsday Wrestling.
That is so awesome.
All
This
right.
is heck of a belt.
I love it. It's great. It's beautiful. So are you, Josh. Is there anything else that you like to plug?
No, not really. I think
All right.
that's everything that I do.
Ned, you got anything to plug?
Nah.
All right. Well, I would like to plug tomorrow night at Secret Group. I am not performing. I just want to promote this show because I think it's so gosh darn great. It's called Neo Benchy, and it's where people just take, well, they call it a made-up words adventure. I think you'll just need to go and check it out to find out for yourself. It starts at 8 o'clock. I can't tell you how much it is, but you should definitely go check it out and go onto their website or Facebook or whatever and find a good pot. All right. That's our show. Thanks a lot.
See you next Monday.
Bye.